You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios, and we're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family Insurance agent, Kim believes that there's much more to insurance than the policy alone. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give Kim a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her you heard it here on Where You Live. It's time now for a message from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. This MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all of your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Some of the benefits of successful property management. Are you ready? On-time payment of rent, improved resident quality, stabilized income, reduced turnover, controlled expenses, improved financial performance, less property wear and tear, allowance for property improvements, enhanced property value, being proactive, not reactive, better relationships with neighbors, fewer police calls, creating a community, being a great neighbor. These are some of the benefits of good property management. And whether you run a townhome association or you are renting out your condo, duplex, or 100-plus unit building, membership with the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association gives you the tools you need to run your business effectively while minimizing the headaches. Don't be a good landlord, be a great one. Visit www.mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com.
So, Gene, it's our last segment today. What do you want to talk about now?
We've got this just ugly, horrible story that is out of Louisville, Kentucky. And this came from the Seattle Times, talking about homeowner association members face violence. It began by saying disagreements that boil over into a shouting match, fingers pointing, and even fistfights are part of a neighborhood homeowners association meetings. We've seen that from time to time.
I know, but fistfights?
I have. That to me is extreme. But the kind of violence that erupted in Louisville just recently left 2 dead. A gentleman, and I will take that away, not a gentleman. There's nothing gentle.
There's a man, yeah.
A man by the name of Mahmoud Yousaf Hindi, age 55, of Louisville, pleaded not guilty to 2 murder charges and said he needs a public defender. He is a doctor, and he's accused of opening fire at a homeowner association's meeting earlier this month, killing 2 of the board members. Authorities have not pinpointed exactly the cause of the outburst, but police said that Hindi angrily confronted the Spring Creek Homeowners Association over a fence. A fence. Let's put that in perspective.
Right.
Because the association was concerned because there is a design and height requirement in this association.
And that was not met
and that
by
was
Mr. Hindy's fence.
Yes. And so he thought, so let's put this in perspective. He doesn't think that there's anything wrong with his fence. The association said it's not in keeping with the architectural design of the rest of the community.
Which is what we gave you in writing when you bought your home here.
And you agreed before you purchased the home here.
That's right.
And now it's reasonable to take out a gun and to shoot 2 of the board members, killing them.
It's crazy. And here's the other thing that's crazy, is society's reaction to this. Later in the article, an expert, whoever that is quoted as saying, "The problem is that homeowners don't always buy into the group concept of an association." You know what? That's not the problem here. The problem here is someone who's completely out of control, who's armed and dangerous, and who solves his problems by shooting at someone and killing someone. The problem is not that people don't buy into the idea of a homeowners association. He did buy into the idea because he bought a home there and he signed the papers saying he agreed.
That's right. And the last time I looked, for a real estate contract to be considered valid, you had to be over 18, so you're an adult.
Okay, he's
You
55.
you had to be sane.
Well, okay, he
And
probably.
you
is
had
there a
to-
test for that?
And you had to be sober. No, but you are under the assumption that the adults you're dealing with basically are adult-like, sane, and sober.
That's
Which
right.
means they're going to be reasonable. There was nothing reasonable
About his
in
reaction.
this kind of a response.
It's crazy. And this isn't the only time something like this has happened. This article cites an incident in Arizona in 2000 where a member murdered 2 women.
Yes.
After opening fire at the Homeowners Association.
This particular one.
That was in Arizona.
In Arizona, it was Richard Glassell, who was sentenced to death. He had run-ins with his HOA over an awning, an air conditioning unit. And you remember a couple years ago we had that one guy, and I'm sorry, there's no other word for it than crackpot. The crackpot.
Oh, Mr. Crackpot.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I remember him.
Mr. HOA syndrome himself.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if he was a licensed psychologist or a self-proclaimed psychologist.
A Dr. Gary Solomon, who said that he felt
he had described and written up a paper
Yes.
about a new syndrome that he named the HOA syndrome.
and he was talking about how, and remember, he used the words Nazi-like association
Yeah.
boards,
Yeah.
right? And he talked about how abusive they were and how people in homeowner associations just lived in fear. And then he had the audacity to point out, saying, yes, there's even murders because of board members. And he brought up
That's right.
this example.
This
and
case.
then we were able to the next week. I mean, we of course he didn't give any of the specifics. We dug it out and we found out it was not the board acting this way towards an association member. It was an association member who shot down and killed
2 women.
Yeah, or in this case, it was 2 women, board members.
At a homeowners association meeting. It's crazy. He blamed it on the fact that this person was so beset and so pushed over the edge by HOA syndrome that that was the reason why he snapped.
Yes, and you know what? One of the things that just gets me later in the article too, it refers to attorneys. This gentleman, not gentleman. This
You're talking about the perp?
the perp. Yes,
Yeah.
This guy, Mahmoud Yusuf Hindi. Hindi says he needs a public defender now, but he initially had some other attorneys who appeared for him at the initial hearings. Those attorneys said, there's another side of this story. And they look forward to the day,
Their day in court.
I'm sorry, there is no other side of the story. That gives the assumption that murder is justified.
That his it gives the assumption, or
That
it
his
infers
response-
that his response was reasonable. The only side of the story I could
Or could be understood,
possibly accept would be that some board member came after him with a gun, and he was defending himself. But that does not seem to be what happened here.
No, that not at all. So when someone said, "But there's another side to the story," I'm sorry. Where is the common sense?
Here's what worries me too, Gene. Someone else is quoted as saying, if people serve on a board for a couple of years, it's not at all unusual that they would feel threatened because people get really angry about this stuff. Is that the way it is out there? 40%. They also say 40% of board members surveyed say they had been threatened with violence. What's going on?
But they go. It's stated a little bit more. Read that specifically. It's not just those who are threatened. That 40%. Can you find that in the article there? You just read
okay,
it.
right. You want me to read that
Yeah, read
paragraph?
it, yeah.
McKenzie pointed to a more than 20-year-old statewide review of HOAs and condo associations in California that showed that more than 40% of board members surveyed say they had been threatened with violence. Is that what you meant?
Yes. A little bit later on, it was not only just someone in the survey. It was not those that were just actually threatened, but it was those who felt threatened. I mean, sometimes people, because there's a disagreement or angry, people will feel.
Okay, but it said the survey showed they had been threatened.
Yeah. Okay.
And then someone went on to say it's not unusual to at least feel threatened.
Yeah. Well,
there are a couple other incidents here. I want to say one more thing about this. Unfortunately, I think our culture supports this craziness by saying that homeowners have more rights than they can break the contract they signed.
Yep.
When they bought.
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous. Hey, well, that's all the time we've got today. Thanks for joining us, folks. Join us next Saturday here on Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
Stop complaining about everything.
Bye.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.